All right, so you're getting ready for a hydropower engineer interview?
Huh?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We've got all these RoleCatcher resources here,
Right.
career guides, interview questions, all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Our mission is to give you the knowledge and the confidence to totally nail this interview.
It's a really interesting field, hydropower,
Oh, yeah,
harnessing the raw power of water to generate electricity.
I know. It's so cool.
We're talking big dams, intricate turbines, balancing energy needs with environmental impact.
It's a lot to think about.
It is fascinating stuff.
And the RoleCatcher Career Guide really paints a great picture of this whole career path.
Yeah,
It highlights the high demand for these skilled engineers.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially with that global push towards renewable energy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You could be designing these impressive hydropower facilities,
Mhm.
finding the best locations for them,
Yeah,
and even conducting trials to make sure you're getting the best results.
absolutely.
So let's dive into these interview questions.
Okay.
RoleCatcher gave us 9 sample questions.
Yeah,
We're going
okay.
to go through them one by one.
Sounds good.
Remember, it's not just about giving the right answer, but showing your passion, your knowledge, and how you'd fit in.
Yeah, every question's a chance for you to kind of tell your story, demonstrate your expertise, and you really want to leave a good impression on the interviewer.
For sure. Okay, so first up, what inspired you to become a hydropower engineer?
Ooh, that's a good one.
What made you interested in renewable energy, and what drew you to hydropower?
Think about like the why behind your career choice,
Hmm.
Was there a specific project that got you hooked? Or
Mm.
maybe a mentor who inspired you?
Yeah,
Or a deep concern for the environment and wanting to make a difference with sustainable solutions?
I like that. And then they might ask you a follow-up question.
Okay.
What kind of projects are you most excited to work on in this field?
Ooh, interesting.
Now you can talk about your specific interests,
Right?
whether it's designing dams or turbine technology or minimizing environmental impact.
Yeah, they're really looking for people who are excited to be there.
Exactly. Okay, question number 2. What are some of the key challenges facing the hydropower industry today?
Okay.
This isn't just about listing challenges, though.
Right, you got to show that you're aware of what's going on in the industry and that you've thought about these issues.
Exactly. For example, you could talk about balancing energy production with the environment.
Yeah, think about how building a dam affects ecosystems and how engineers try to minimize those impacts.
Like with fish-friendly turbines, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And that reminds me of how helpful RoleCatcher's AI can be.
Oh, yeah, how so?
It can look at job descriptions and actually suggest talking points that are relevant to the company.
Oh, that's smart.
Like, if they're big on sustainability, you'll know to talk about those fish-friendly turbines and other things like that.
That's a really good point. It's all about tailoring your responses.
Okay, let's move on to question 3.
Mm-hmm.
How do you approach the design and construction of a hydropower plant?
All right, now we're getting technical.
All right, this is where you show off your knowledge.
You want to talk about the key factors like site selection resource assessment, choosing the right turbine, and doing environmental impact assessments.
And don't forget about those hands-on trials.
Yes, the RoleCatcher Career Guide talks about experimenting with different materials to find the best solutions.
And be ready for a follow-up question, like,
Okay,
what are some trade-offs you might have to consider during the design process?
that's a good one.
They want to see if you can balance different priorities.
Like cost effectiveness versus environmental impact.
Yeah, exactly. Like maybe choosing a turbine that's a little less efficient, but much better for fish migration.
It's about showing that you understand the big picture.
Question 4 is super important. How do you ensure the safety of a hydropower plant and its operations?
Safety first.
Always, especially when you're dealing with so much water.
Talk about risk assessments, safety protocols, regular maintenance and emergency plans.
You know, RoleCatcher's AI can be super helpful here too.
Well,
You can practice your answer out loud, and it'll give you feedback on how you sound your content and even your tone.
so it's like a practice interview.
Yeah, like a super smart robot coach.
I like it.
Okay, question 5 is all about the environment. How do you manage the environmental impact of a hydropower project?
This is a big one.
It shows that you care about sustainability.
Talk about environmental assessments, mitigation measures like fish passage systems, and working with environmental organizations.
And be ready for a follow-up, like,
Okay.
what are some innovative solutions you've encountered for minimizing the impact?
Ooh, I like that.
This is where you can show off your research or your knowledge of new technologies.
Like new turbine designs that are better for fish or ways to manage sediment that protect downstream ecosystems.
Exactly. It's all about being proactive and finding ways to improve things.
Hmm.
Okay, question 6 is about efficiency. How do you optimize the performance of a hydropower plant?
Right, let's talk about keeping things running smoothly.
You want to mention monitoring systems, data analysis, and regular maintenance?
And this is where you can highlight your technical expertise
Absolutely. Talk about your experience with different turbines and generators.
and your knowledge of control system work.
And be ready for a tough follow-up, like,
Hit me.
how would you troubleshoot a sudden drop in energy output?
Oh, wow.
They want to see how you think under pressure.
You got to stay calm,
Mm-hmm.
check those monitoring systems, and then investigate potential causes.
Like a turbine malfunction or a blockage somewhere.
Right, and don't forget to talk about communication with the team.
Teamwork is key.
Always.
Okay, question 7 is about staying current. How do you stay up to date with the latest developments in the hydropower industry?
Staying ahead of the curve.
Exactly. You can mention industry publications, conferences, professional organizations, and online resources.
And don't be afraid to show your enthusiasm.
Like if there's a new technology that you're excited about.
Yeah, they might ask, what are some specific trends or technologies in the hydropower industry that you're following closely?
And you could talk about using AI or new materials for turbines.
It's all about continuous learning.
All right, question 8 gets to the heart of things. How do you ensure that a hydropower plant meets the energy demands of the community it serves?
Okay, so it's not just about building the plant, but making sure it actually works for people.
You got to think about load forecasting energy storage solutions and integrating hydropower with other renewables.
Like solar and wind.
Yeah, creating a hybrid system.
And they might ask, how do you see the role of energy storage evolving in the future of hydropower?
You could talk about new battery technologies or pumped hydro.
It's about looking ahead.
Okay, last question for this segment. How do you work with stakeholders to ensure the success of a hydropower project?
This is about people skills.
You've got to show that you can communicate and collaborate.
Talk about engaging with different stakeholders, listening to their concerns, and finding common ground.
And the RoleCatcher Career Guide emphasizes working with other professionals.
Right. Teamwork is essential.
And they might ask, how would you address concerns from local communities about the potential impact of a hydropower project?
You got to show empathy and a willingness to listen.
You could talk about having public meetings, doing impact assessments, and incorporating local knowledge into the project.
It's about finding solutions that work for everyone.
We've covered a lot here, but before we move on to RoleCatcher's resources, let's take a quick break.
That's good.
When we come back, we'll explore how their AI can help you personalize your prep.
Can't wait.
Stay with us.
Welcome back. We've just talked about some of the common questions you might get in a hydropower engineer interview.
Right.
But now let's look at how RoleCatcher can help you prepare even better.
Yeah, because crafting those answers is important.
Mm-hmm.
But don't forget, a strong application is what gets you that interview in the first place.
Exactly. And that's where RoleCatcher's AI comes in.
Oh, yeah.
Think of it as your secret weapon for the whole process.
From start to finish.
From application to that final handshake.
Their AI can analyze job descriptions and make sure your CV or resume matches what they're looking for.
So you're not just sending out generic applications.
It's like having a personal career coach helping you stand out.
And getting past those applicant tracking systems.
Which can be a nightmare.
Tell me about it.
But with RoleCatcher, you're making sure your application is seen by a real person.
That's so important.
And it gets even better.
Oh, there's more.
RoleCatcher's AI can also give you feedback on your interview answers.
Wow, really?
You can practice your responses and it'll tell you how you sound, what you're saying, and even your tone of voice.
It's like a mock interview.
Yeah, with a super smart robot.
That's pretty cool.
And the best part is the feedback is tailored to the specific job you're applying for.
So you know you're focusing on the right things.
Now let's step back for a minute and think about the bigger picture.
Okay.
With climate change and the need for clean energy, where does hydropower fit in?
That's a question every hydropower engineer should be thinking about.
We talked about some of the challenges like environmental concerns and competition from other renewables.
Right. How do those things shape the future of the industry?
Well, one thing's for sure, the demand for renewable energy is only going to grow.
Absolutely.
And hydropower, with its reliability and ability to provide baseload power, is going to be crucial.
Definitely.
I was reading in the RoleCatcher Career Guide about combining hydropower with other renewables.
Oh, yeah. Creating a hybrid system.
Exactly like using hydropower with solar and wind.
That's a really interesting trend.
It creates a more stable energy system that can meet demand all the time.
Because you have that backup when the sun isn't shining or the wind isn't blowing.
Exactly. And we're also seeing new innovations in hydropower technology itself.
Right.
Like fish-friendly turbines, better dam safety, and even smaller localized hydropower systems.
It's a constantly evolving field.
It sounds like there's so much potential for creativity.
Absolutely.
What advice would you give to someone who's just starting out in hydropower engineering?
I'd say be passionate, be curious, and never stop learning.
Because this field is always changing.
The RoleCatcher Career Guide talks about professional development, too.
Yeah, like getting certified or pursuing advanced degrees.
It's important to keep learning and growing.
And don't forget about those soft skills.
Communication and collaboration.
You'll be working with all sorts of people, so being able to communicate clearly and work together is essential.
Couldn't agree more.
So we've covered a lot today, from interview tips to AI tools to the future of hydropower.
It's been a great discussion.
But before we wrap things up, we want to leave you with one final thought-provoking question.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
In a world that needs clean, sustainable energy, how do you envision the future of hydropower?
What role do you see yourself playing?
What innovations or solutions do you want to contribute to?
This isn't about having the right answer.
It's about showing your passion, your vision, and your commitment to making a difference.
And remember, with the knowledge you've gained and the resources from RoleCatcher,
You're ready to make a real impact in hydropower engineering.
good luck on your journey.
We know you'll do great.
We're back for the final part of our deep dive into hydropower engineering,
We've covered a lot of ground.
from interview prep to the future of the industry.
And don't forget about those amazing RoleCatcher resources.
Oh yeah, they're a game changer.
But before we wrap things up,
Mm.
we want to leave you with something to think about.
Okay.
Because being a great engineer,
Yeah.
it's not just about technical skills.
Right.
It's about vision, creativity, thinking outside the box.
I like that.
So here's our final thought for you.
I'm listening.
With the world needing clean, reliable energy,
Mm-hmm.
how do you see the future of hydropower?
What's next?
What innovations are on the horizon?
Ooh, good question.
What challenges do we need to overcome?
Will we build even bigger dams?
Or maybe find new ways to harness the power of water?
Like from the oceans?
That's a thought.
What about combining hydropower with other renewables?
Creating a truly sustainable energy system. That's the dream.
These are the kinds of questions that really make you stand out in an interview.
They show you're not just there for a job.
You're passionate about the field.
You're ready to make a difference.
And there's no single right answer.
It's about showing how you think.
Your curiosity, your problem-solving skills, your vision for a better world.
Well said.
So good luck on your hydropower journey.
We're excited for you.
With your passion and your knowledge,
And a little help from RoleCatcher.
you're going to do great things.
And that wraps up this episode of The Deep Dive.
It's been a pleasure.
Until next time, happy engineering.